Welcome back to the channel. Now we are going to see regarding the concept of operators in Python programming. So in as like remaining programming languages like C, Java, even in Python programming language also we are having operators for performing various multiplication tasks and comparison things and all these things. So coming to the operator, what are the things we are having is arithmetic operator, relation operator, we can call relation operator as comparison operator, logical operator, bitwise operator, assignment operator, and as well as special operators. Now, let us see in detail regarding each and every operator and how it is going to work with a simple program. Arithmetic operator means what are the symbols? Generally, what are the arithmetic operators comes under means plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulus. These are the things comes under the first arithmetic operators. So whatever the program, if you want to write regarding addition of two numbers, there is no need to struggle like C and Java. For example, if I have to add A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 5, I can write C is equal to A plus B. So this is what a simple manner where we can run the task in a easy way. So now let us see how to run the program in a simple manner. Go to the IDLE. So here I have written a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 5, and I'm going to give c is equal to a plus b. So what I have given c here is the result of a plus b is going to store in c. Now click enter. So if you the result is stored in c, isn't it? So if you want to see the result, you have to click c and you have to type enter. So you are going to get the result of c. In this manner we have to perform the arithmetic operations. If it is minus, you have to do minus. If it is multiplication, you have to keep a symbol multiplication. If it is division, you have to keep the symbol division. Like that the operator will vary. So this is what you can see an example here. Here in this example they have taken a value as 2 and b value, sorry, a value as 10 and b value as 2. Now here they have performed addition operators. A plus b is equal to 12, a minus b is equal to 8, a into b is equal to 20, a by b is equal to 5. Like that the output is going to display. Here this is what the output we are going to get. Here a by b is division. A a floor b means here whatever the operation we are performing, if the result is integer, we are going to get float value for in a seventh point. A by b means it is a division operator, and a double star means it is an exponent or power, means 2 2 square. If you want to do operation of 2 square, what is the 2 square? 2 into 2, like that. If you want to do such type of operators, we will use this power operator. 2 stars means 5 square, 5 into 5, like that. Here you can see 10 square, 10 into 2. This is what the output you are going to get. So here, if you want to perform addition operator for two numbers, you are going to get the result. No issue in that. But if you want to perform addition operator for a string and a number, it's not possible. For example, Srinivas plus 10. I won't get any result. We cannot add we cannot add a number, right? So let us see this even this task with a simple example. V is equal to Srinu plus 5. Definitely you are going to get error. Why? Because Srinu is an integer, sorry, it is a data type of characters or strings. So you cannot count the text, isn't it? This is why you are going not going to get an output. You are going to get error. Why? Because the name, whatever the string you have given like Srinu or Durga, that cannot be treated as integer value. Next, if you want to write Durga plus 10 means you are going to get Durga 10. That is different. If you want to perform addition operation means it is not going to get. Here, why here 10 also has taken input? Because I have written 10 in double quotes. If you write 10 in double quotes, that 10 also will be considered as in string only. It will not consider as number. Whatever the values you have written in double quotes, even it is a number, it will consider as a string. Why? Because you have written in double quotes. Whatever the data you have written in double quotes, it will treat as a string. That is why you have got the output as Durga 10 in line number 4. Next, relation operators means whatever the relation operators means, if I have a two numbers, you are going to get different relations like greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to. These are the things which we can find the relations of the two variables. So here you can see a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. So a greater than b, like that. So now let us see with a simple example. After that we will come back to this example. A is equal to 6, b is equal to 7, c a greater than b. False means here you can see based on the condition, if the condition is true, if the condition is correct, a and b comparison, if the condition is correct, you are going to get true, or else you are going to get a result as false. A equal to b, a double equal to b. So like that, based on the things whatever we are giving, we are going to get output. So now let us see with an examples here. So here I have taken a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. Here I am performing operation like a greater than b, a greater than or equal to b, a less than b, a less than or equal to b. So a greater than b. So a is not greater than b. So the condition is wrong. So I got a output as false. You can see in line number 8. A greater than or equal to b. So it is not greater than and it is not equal. The two conditions whatever we have given both are wrong. So it is false. So a less than b. Of course a is a smaller number than b. So true. A less than or equal to b. So it is even though a is not equal to b, a is less than b. Here in these two conditions, one condition was satisfied. So you are going to get a result as true. So here you can perform comparison operations even for a string. So here I have taken A is equal to Durga, B is equal to Durga. So how many characters in A I am having? I am having 5 characters in A. And how many characters in B I am having? In B I am having 5 characters. So if I check an operation called A greater than B, so it is going to check how many characters are there in A and how many characters are there in B. So if the characters both are equal, I am going to get true. If the characters are not equal, I am not going to get true. So for example, you can see line number 3, print A greater than B. So A is not greater than B. A and B are same. A have 5 characters, B have 5 characters. It is false. So print A greater than or equal to B. So in this condition, A is not greater than B, but A is equal to B. That condition is satisfied. So I got a result as true. So in these two conditions, you have to remember at least one condition satisfies, you are going to get result as true. So next, A is less than B. Condition is false. Why? Because A and B are equal. So the condition is false. So A is less than or equal to B. So here A is less than B. The condition is false. But A is equal to B. The condition is true. A and B are equal now. So that is why I got a result as true. So from this, what is the thing you have to observe is, if I have a condition like A greater than B or A less than B, so if the condition is true, I am going to get the result as true. But if I give a condition like A greater than or equal to B, A less than or equal to B, in this condition I am having two conditions here, greater than condition, equal to condition. In these two conditions, if at least one condition satisfies, I am going to get the result as true. So that is the thing you have to observe here. So you can see here next, print true, true greater than true, true greater than or equal to true, true less greater than true. So here I have given some conditions. So if I want to print for these conditions, if I want to print the comparison of 10 less greater than Durga. So if I have to perform the operation like this, so you are not going to get any output. Why? Because 10 is a numerical value and Durga is a string. You cannot compare the string with number. String is another data type and number is a integer data type. You cannot compare with integer value. So that is why you got error. So here you can see another example. a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. Here I am for performing this comparison operation, I am using a operator called if else condition. The if else condition, what is going to do means, if the condition is true, you are going to get one print statement, and if the condition is false, you are going to get one print statement. So let me give you a small example. For example, if you are writing an exam, the passing mark of an exam is 40. So here I am giving a condition: if marks are greater than 40, print congratulations. If marks are less than 40, print please try again. So here what is the output you are going to get? The output what you are going to get is based upon the input whatever you are giving as marks. Whatever, if I give an input called 25, I'm going to get please try again. If I enter a marks called 70, if it is going to give a result called congratulations. Based on that, whatever the condition, based on that particular condition, it is going to check whether it have to print if statement or it have to print else statement. So here you can see a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, a greater than b. For example, if a is bigger than b, it is going to get a is greater than b. If a is less than b, if it is going to get a is not greater than b. So in our example, the else block condition was satisfied. So I got a output is whatever the value I have written in else block, I got that particular output. Next, equality operator means whatever the input you are giving, that particular input is equal, means a is equal to 10, b is equal to 10. So both are equal. So I am going to get both values are equal. Means a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. A is not equal to b. So I am going to get a value is not equal to b value. So let us see this equality operator. So to define a equal to b, you have to define a doubly equal to b. So generally, if you a is equal to b means we will write a is equal to b. In this case, you have to write a double equal to b to find equality. So I have taken 10 double equal to 20. Means I am checking whether these both values are equal. So 10 and 20 are not equal. So that is why I got output false. And 10 is not equal to 20 now. Both values are different. So I have written condition 10 not equal. For not equal, you have to define like this: exclamation mark not. Exclamation defines it is a not, equal to is equal. 10 not equal to 20. This condition is true. So I got a result called true. 10 equal to true. So here the condition is also false. Why? Because 10 is different and true is different. True is a string and 10 is a numerical value. So it is false. False is equal to false. Why it got true here? False having 5 characters and here also having 5 characters. Both values are same, isn't it? Both strings are same. I got true. Next, Durga is doubly equal to Durga. So Durga having 5 characters. Here Durga having 5 characters. Both are same. So here I got true. Next, 10 equal to Durga. Here I got false. Why? Because 10 is a numerical number and Durga is a string data type. So both are different. So I got a false value here. So here this is what another example. 10 double equal to 20 double equal to 30 double equal to 40. Means here the condition what they given is 10 equal to 20 equal to 30 equal to 40. So both are different values. So there is no relation with one operator, one value with another value. So that is why I got value false. If I given like 20 equal to 20 equal to 20 equal to 20. So both are 20 was only. All are same. So I am going to get true. Here you can see 10 equal to 10 equal to 10 equal to 10. You got true. So the next one is logical operator. So logical operator, you are going to have three values like and, or, not. So when you are going to use and or not means whatever the input you are giving, if both inputs are matching or both inputs are equal, means a equal to b, like that. If both are correct, you are going to use condition called and. If at least one input is correct, you are going to use or operator. Not is an operator which you are going to use whenever you want to use a complement variable. So here you have to remember is what are when you are going to get output as 0 and when you are going to get output 1. Whenever the result is true, you are going to get output as 1. and whenever the result is false, you are going to get 0, isn't it? Here you can see 0 means false, means result is false. 0 means false and non-zero means true. Whenever you got a result as non-zero means it is true. Then whenever the result is non-zero means you are going to get result as 1. So if you did not give any data type like a is equal to, if you leave it as blank without giving any input, it will take as false only. Why means we cannot determine either it is true or false without giving any input. So defaultly it is going to give value as false. So here you have given a condition like if x is equalates to false, return x, otherwise return true. Means whatever the value I am giving in x, if it is false, it is going to return x value, and whatever the x is given value is true, it is going to return y value. So this is what syntax. Now let us see example. Here I have given a 10 and 20. Next one is 0 and 20. So here the first value is x value is 10 and y value is 20. So in the second case the x value is 0 and y value is 20. Here in the first argument is a 0, then result is 0. So there we are going to get result as y. So this is the AND condition. Now see OR condition. In this OR condition, if at least one value is true, you are going to get true. 10 or 20 means in 10 or 20 it will print any value by its own defaultly. It may print 10 value or it may print 20 value based upon the system interest. Here 0 or 20. Here it will give either 0 or 20. Not means not is a value which it is going to see false result is true, otherwise it is false whatever the result. So here not 10 means if here in the input I am going to give x is equal to 10. So if I written in below x is not 10, so what I have given x is equal to 10, but here I have written x is not 10, so it is false. X is 10 only, no, so not 0. So true, x is not 0, x is 10 I have given in input, so it is here I have written not 0. Yes, it is not 0, it is 10. So based upon that you are going to get output. So here I have given Durga and Durga Soft. So here what it is going to do Durga and Durga Soft, it is going to combine the complete word and it is going to give the single word Durga Soft it is going to give. Next, here you can see and Durga. Here you can in the first statement you have not given anything, and Durga you have given. In the left side of that you have not given anything, so we cannot expect an output, isn't it? Here Durga and after and you have not given anything, you have given quotes, you have not given anything, so you should not expect anything. If you want any output, you have to give left side variable and you have to keep either and you have to keep or you have to keep, and right side you have to give one value. Here you have not given anything in the left side and not you have given r and you have given here Durga. You are going to get Durga. Why? Because you have used an or operator. If you use or operator, either you can get value from left side or you can get value from right side. Even fifth one also you have used Durga here and you have not used anything here, so you are going to get Durga here. Not is a value which you are going to get, so you can see whether it is true or not. So not Durga means you here not Durga means everywhere you have used a term called Durga. Here you are saying you have not used term Durga. It is false condition, isn't it? So bitwise operator is a thing where we are going to use the values for finding Boolean operator. So if you are trying to apply for any type of Boolean operator for any type of other data types, you are going to get error message. Based on that, you are going to let us see how Boolean operators is going to work. The values which are present in AND operator, Boolean operators are AND, OR, NOT, negotiation, right shift operator, left shift operator. So these are the operators which are present in Boolean operations. So now let us see each and every operation individually. Print 4 and 5. We have given valid. Next print 10.5 and 5.6. So here we are going to get error. Why? Because whatever the values you are giving, you have to give either both values are integer or in the same manner. But here in this both values are integer. In this case, the you got a result, it is a valid statement. Why? Because both are integer values. So in the round the statements are invalid. Why? Because you have to give only integer values for printing to validate the elements. Next, here you can see print true and true, both are same, both are strings only, both are having four characters only, both are same, so you are going to get true. For example, if you write print true and false, so both print is true is four characters, false is five characters, so both are different values, so you are going to get their invalid, isn't it? So these are the what on operators. So now in this table we can know how you are going to get result. For coming to the AND operator, so in AND operator, if both bits are 1, then the result is 1. Means both conditions are true, means you are going to get output as 1, or else you are going to get output as 0. Not operator, in not operator, at least one value should satisfy. Then only you are going to get output as 1, or else you are going to get output as 0. Not operator. So this is the symbol of not operator. If the bits are different, the result is 1. Not means x is equal to 5, y is equal to 7. So x and y are different values. So you are going to get result as 1, or else you are going to get result as 0. So next, bitwise operator. Bitwise means it is a complement operator. That means whatever the value you are giving, it is going to give reverse of that value. For example, you have given 1, it is going to print 0. If you are giving 0, you are going to get result 1, like that. Next, left shift operator means whatever the input you are going, it is going to, for example, I have given 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. If I perform left shift operator, so what happens is whatever the elements present in the left side 1 2, so it is going to shift the left side values to 2 bits forward. Means I am going to get 1 2 3 4 5 6. Means the last two values will be empty. So like that, the first two values will be empty. Why? Because the first two values was shifted to next two positions. In the same way, right shift means the values will be moved from right side to left side. So now let us see how bitwise operators works and left shift and right shift operator works. So here I have written print of 5. In a bitwise operator, whatever the operator we have given, if the condition is true, it is going to give the true value, or else it is going to give false value. Here in print of 5, what is a 5? It is an addition, means it is a positive value. So what is a bitwise means it is going to give reverse of that. If I give 1 means it is going to give 0. Like if it is 0 means it is going to give 1. So if I give plus 5, I am going to get output as minus 5, like that. So you can see shift values here. So left shift means the values are shifting from left side. Right shift means the values are shifting from right side. So here you can see 10 left shift of 20. So here you have taken one stack, you have taken list of elements. So here 10 is shifted to two positions, means the first two values will be moved, cancelled, or first two values will be moved forward. So after performing shift value means left from left side, the two values are shifted. So what happens is the first two values positions are vacant, means the first two values will be 0. Why first two values will be 0? I have shifted first two values. Left shift from left side, I have shifted those two values. So the two values has moved forward. See, you can see after moving the two values, I got a result called 0 0 1 0 1 0. Right shift means whatever the values I am performing, I am going to shift values from right side, opposite direction compared to left shift operator. So after performing the right shift operator, here I have given a value called 1 0. So after performing right shift, that 1 0 will be cancelled, that places will be vacant, means empty. You cannot add anything in that empty places, means that places already having data you have removed, you have performed shift values. For example, if we are shifting our home from one location to another location, up to some period that our particular home which we have shifted, old home will become vacant, no, in the same manner. So for performing bitwise operator for different conditions, what are the outputs you are going to get means, for example, you are taking condition like true and false, means one condition is true and one condition is false. In an AND operation, you are going to get false. In OR operation, one condition is true and one condition is false, you are going to get true. In OR, at least one condition should true. In NOT operation, true not false means you are going to get true. In bitwise operator, whatever the input you are giving, you are going to get the opposite of that output, means plus 2 minus 2 plus 7 minus 7 minus 7 plus 7, like that. So next, left shift means it is going to shift values to left side, right shift means it is going to shift values to right side. So assignment operator means whatever the input you are going to get, it is we are going to perform the assignment operators of that input, means x is equal to x plus 10 or x is equal to x minus 10, like that we are going to perform the task. So defaultly, to perform assignment operator, you have to give any initial value like c is equal to c plus 5, like that. So yeah, but to perform assignment operator, these are the symbols you are going to use: plus equal to, minus equal to, star equal to. So these are all the things which it is going to support. Now let us see the basic some of the things with an examples. So here x is equal to 10 I have given. So next, x plus is equal to 20 I have given. So I am going to print a value of x. So what I am going to get, x is equal to 30. 20 plus 10. So I am going to get 30. Next, x is equal to 10 and x and is equal to 5 I have given. So print x means what it is going to do. So it is going to give a result as 0. Next, ternary operator. Ternary operator is defined by, if whatever the condition is true, the first value will be considered, or else the second value will be considered. Means it depends upon the system input to print any value. So here in the example 1, you can observe I have given a comma b is equal to 10 comma 20. The first value is a. After a is equal to, the first value will be 10. So the next value is b. The 20 value will be assigned to b. So next, in the second line, I have given a condition of x is equal to 30. So here I am using a term called if a is less than b, else 40. Means the particular condition is true, you have to get output called x value. If the particular condition is false, I am going to get value as 40. So once again, if a comma b is equal to 10 comma 20, means a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. Here I have given a condition called x is equal to 30. So here I have given a condition called a is less than b. If a is less than b, print else 40 I have given, print x. Means here if a is less than b, I have to get a result called x value, whatever x is stored. If a is greater than b, I have to get a result called 40. So in this condition, a value is less than b value. So that is why I got an output called 30. So this is the example 1 is a static program actually. So here the example 1 is a static program actually. So what is the meaning of static program means, how many times you run that particular code, you are going to get output as 30 only. Why? Because the values are fixed. Means how many times you may run the program, the fixed values will not be changed. But in example 2, it is a dynamic program. Why? Because in the second example, the user have to enter each and every time the input. Based upon the user entered data, the program is going to run. So this is a dynamic program. Why? Because as per the input, dynamically the output is going to change each and every, based upon the input, whatever you have entered each and every time, the output is going to change. So here a is equal to input of enter first number. 10. B is equal to input of enter second number. So I have entered B. So min is equal to means minimum is equal to A. If A is less than B, else B I have written. Means in the given conditions, if A value is less than B value, I am going to get one output, and A value is less than B value, I am going to get another output. So let us see with the output. Enter first number. First number is 10. Enter second number. Second number is 20. So in this conditions, A value is 10 and B value is 30. Here, based upon that, what is the output I am going to get? I am going to get A value. So here you can see in this concept here they have used nesting concept, isn't it? Nesting is defined as defining one operation or defining one data type inside the another data type, or defining one operation inside another operation is a nested operation. So this is also a dynamic program. Why? Because here they are asking enter first number, enter second number, enter third number. Means whatever the values we have entered, the output is going to get. This is also a static program. This example is also a static program. So these are the outputs of that particular program. Next, special operator. Special operator is used to define the things like there are two operators to define special operators, like there are identity operator and membership operator. So now let us see identity operator. In identity operator we are going to have two values only. First one is, second one is not. Means if the condition is true, if means A is equal to 10, B is equal to 10, A and B are equal. No, if A is B, means condition is true, means A equal to B. No, means A is equal to 10, B is equal to 10. If A is not B, means A is not equal to B, then also our condition is true. So here you can see X is A is equal to 10, B is equal to 10, A is B. A is means equal to, the condition is true. Okay, X is equal to true, Y is equal to true, means both are strings, both are having four values, both are having same values. X is Y, X equal to Y, yeah, true. Next, A equal to Durga, B equal to Durga. Next, print ID of A, means whatever the value I am having in A, I am going to get that Durga. Means print ID of B, I am going to get Durga. Next, fifth line, print A is B. Is A equal to B? It is asking. So I am going to get true, of course. My A and B are Durga, same values, isn't it? Next, this one is list. Whatever we, if you know regarding list, it's no issue. If you didn't know regarding list, you can see my previous video. In that you are having a concept of list. So here I have given a list. I have given three values. What is the thing you have to remember in a list? Whatever the data you have defined, you have to define in either single quotes or double quotes or triple quotes also. Here in the list I have given three values. First one is 1, second one is 2, third one is 3. In a list 2, I have created second list with name list 2. I have given 1, 2, 3. So print ID of list 1. In the first line I am asking what are the IDs I am having in list 1. It is going to print. In the second line I am asking print ID of list 2. So in third line and fourth line, whatever the inputs I am having, it is going to print as it is. See line number 5. Print list 1 is list 2. Means whatever the values I am having in list 1, the same I am having in list 2. List 1 is list 2. 1, 2, it is going to give result as false. Next, print list 1 is not list 2. Means list 1 is not equal to list 2. It is asking. Here it is going to give condition called true. Next, print list 1 double equal to list 2. Means list 1 is equal to list 2. Yes, list whatever the values I am having in list 1, the same values I am having in list 2 also. So I got a result as true. Next, membership operator. Membership operator is a concept where you can use it to defined in a place of collection of different types of data. Like you can use membership operator in the concept of list, tuples, dictionaries, sets also. So here in the membership operator, you are going to use the terms in, not in. If the condition is true, it means in means if the condition is true, it is going to print in. Not in means it is going to perform the it is going to print true whenever the condition is not present. So here you can see x is equal to hello. Learning Python is very easy. Next, print h in x means what is the meaning means is there letter h in this particular x input, it is going to check. If there is letter h in input, it is going to give true. Next, third line, d in x, whether you have letter d in this x input. If it have d in our input, it is going to give true. If there is no d in our input, so it is going to give false. Next, d not in x, it is itself saying there is no d in our input. Of course, we did not have letter d in input. True. Next, Python in x. There is a word called Python in our input x. Yes, I am having Python in x. True. So this is another example. In this example, I have taken strings Sunny, Bunny, Chinny, Pinky, Pinny. So here I have taken in a list. The name of our list is list 1. So next, print whatever the value I am printing. Sunny in list 1. Do I have Sunny name in list 1? Yes, I am having. Tunny in list 1. Do I have Tunny? I have Bunny, Chinny, Pinny, Sunny. I did not have Tunny. So I am going to get false. Next, print. Tunny not in list 1. It is only saying there is no Tunny in list 1. Of course, it did not have Tunny in list 1. True. So this is a concept of membership operator. Membership means we are going to use in, not in. Next, operator precedence. Here, to perform, for example, like 2 plus 3 into 4 by 5 means I am giving arithmetic, means addition, subtraction, multiplication, division in a single task. It is going to perform that particular task by checking which operator I have to take first, which operator I have to take second. So who is going to divide if I given like 2 plus 3 into 5? So who is going to decide which first I have to do 2 plus 3 or first I have to do 3 into 5 and I should add to 2 means here operator precedence is going to do the task like which value I have to take first and which value I have to take next, like that. Here you can see example, print 3 plus 10 into 2. So here in this operation first I can use 10 into 2 20 plus 3 23 or 3 like or 3 plus 10 13 13 to 26. It is not going to do like that. Why? Because here I am having plus symbol and I am having multiplication symbol. In these two symbols, the multiplication is the bigger one than plus. So that is why first it is performed multiplication operation. So whatever the result you got for those two values, that result is added to tree. So here print 10 plus 3 into 2. So here 10 plus 3 is one set. There is no relation with 2. So first it is going to perform the inside value whatever I am having 10 plus 3 13. So after performing 13 it is going to perform the result called 13 into 2 26, like that. The way of defining above statement and the way of defining below statement is different. Here in the above statement I am having operator precedence concept. There is a computation between plus and multiplication. So in the computation of plus and multiplication, multiplication is a bigger value, bigger symbol. So first multiplication operation was performed. But in the concept of below example, there is a set to perform into two operation, to perform multiplication operation. I should have result of addition value, addition of 10 plus 3, then only I can perform to the second task. So that is why here the precedence is given for the 10 plus 3. So like that you are having these are the different symbols which you can perform. So this is an example. A is equal to 30, B is equal to 20, C is equal to 10, D is equal to 5. I have given. So next I am writing printing print of A plus B into C by D. First it is going to perform A plus B operation. the result of a plus b is multiplied to c, and the result of c is divided to d. Next, print of a plus b into c plus d. So first it is going to do a plus b, next it is going to do c into d. The result of a plus b and the result of c into d is going to get multiplied to each other. Next, print of a plus b into c by d. So first it is going to perform b into c, next it is going to add to a, next it is going to divide with d. So how the operations was happened in the line number 5, line number 6, line number 7, you can see below. Line number 10, 11, 12. Next, math module. So even in every programming language, even in C, Java, the basic operations like arithmetic operation, relation operation, comparison operations will be performed without including any header, special header files, mathematical header files. So if you want to perform more the operators compared to arithmetic operation, relation operation, comparison operation, you are going to use a special keyword called math. You are going to import that math module. If you import that math module, what is the advantage that you are going to get is you are going to get perform different trigonometric functions, different logical functions, and all these things. There is a no limit. If you use math module, you can do any type of mathematical operation in Python programming. So here, to perform any mathematical operation, first of all you have to import math statement. You can import math statement by writing import math. So next, print math dot sqrt of 16 means square root of 16, means square root of 16 is 4. Next, print math dot pi means you are asking a pi value 3.14, no, it is going to get 3.14. So like that you can perform multiple, you can ask sine of 45, cos of 62, like that you can ask random those values also. Next, import math as m. So here what is the meaning import math as m? Each and every time writing math is difficult, no, math you have to write each and every time. So instead of that I am making that math as m for temporary purpose. You cannot use math as m not every time. Until you close that up, until you close that Python shell, you can use as m symbol instead of math. Why? Because you have created a alias name, means you have created a shortcut name for that word math. So print m dot square root of 16. Next, print m dot pi. You can use in the same way writing math. You can use m. Why you have used m? You have made import math as m. In writing math, you are using a term called yes m. So if you want to use the keyword like this, you have to say before itself to in Python interpreter. Then only you can use like that. Next, from math import sqrt. In a math, you are having multiple number of mathematical operations like trigonometric functions, logarithmic functions, and all these things. From all the functions, here you are taking only one function. What is the function you are taking from math? Whatever the set of functions you are having with you, with mathematical functions, you are only importing square root function. You are only taking square root function for performing your task. So here defining the particular task what you need is more advantage one. Why? Because if you define import math means it is going to bring all the functions whatever the it is having with math. But if you say I need only square root means it is going to bring only square root function, means bringing the only one thing is very easy compared to bringing multiple number of things. For example, if you are carrying 10 number of books from library to fourth floor, from ground floor library to fourth floor, it will be difficult for you carrying 10 books. But if you are carrying only one book from fourth 10 ground floor to fourth floor will be very easy. In the same manner, compared to bringing set multiple variables from import function is very difficult than bringing one value from import function, mathematical functions, isn't it? Next, from math import sqrt comma pi, means from mathematical operation you are importing only two values. What are the two values? Square root function, pi function. like means the main thing here to define is you can bring the values whatever you want dynamically also. That is the main intention. So here from math import sqrt comma pi, print sqrt of 16, print pi, means you are going to get 4 and 3.14. So whatever the values you have imported now, math value and pi value, no, like that you can import these all values also. Seal, floor, power of x comma y means power, means 2 comma 4 means 2 power 4, like that. 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. Whatever the result you are going to get, you are going to get. Next, power of 5 square, 5 into 5, you are going to get that particular result. Next, factorial, truncate, GCD of two numbers, sin x, sin 45, cos 35, tan 25, like that you are going to get those results also. So pi 3.14 is equal to 2.71. INF defines that infinity. Na nan means it is not a number. So, for example, if you want to define pi r square, pi r square is used to calculate the area of circle. So, in Python programming, how to define square value? Pi r, I can write pi value 22 by 7, I can write or 3.14 I can write. R means I can define R value. Means R means whatever the value R I am get. If in R I am having 7 means I can replace the 7 in place of R. Means how you can, we will do square means this is what a procedure. Pi into r square. If you want to do perform square operation, you have to use double star, means it is a square operation. So from math import 5, from mathematical operation you are taking a pi value. Next, r equal to 16. So pi 3.14 into 16 into 2. So you are going to get area 804.247 and so on. So this is how you are going to calculate area of circle. So this is what the concept regarding operators and various operators which are present in Python programming language with examples.